Alright guys, welcome back to Death from Above 40k. We've got a 2,000 point matchup today. We've got the Death Guard versus the Tau Empire. I've got my brother Brad here. He's going to be running the Tau for me. Say g'day, Brad.
G'day.
Alright, so I'm going to go through the Death Guard list first and then the Tau list. So they're both brigades. So each of them have 15 command points and fill out all slots. So we'll start with the Death Guard. So, I got a Chaos Lord for the Warlord. He's got a Bale Sword and a Combi Plasma. He's got Arch Contaminator and the Fulgaris Helm, so big bubble of rerolls. Then we've got the Lord of Contagion with his Man Reaper. He'll just be dropping in doing whatever he can do. Then we've got a Malignant Plaguecaster. He'll have Miasma of Pestilence and Blades of Putrefaction. You know the one. Alright, for my 6 troops choices, up the front I got 1, 2, 3 10-man Poxwalk squads. Then I got 1, 2, 3 5-man Plague Marine squads. Each of the champions has a plasma gun, and then there's 2 blight launchers in it. So that's the troops. Then for elites, I've got 1 Foul Blight spawn, Grenade Rack guy, and another Foul Blight spawn. So that's the 3 elites. Fast attack, we've got Fetid Bloat Drone, 2nd Fetid Bloat Drone, and 3 Myphetic Blight Whores. And then for the 3 heavy supports, we've got 3 Plague Burst Crawlers with the Plague Spitters. Alright, so that brings me in at 2,000 points and 15 command points. Then we go across, have a look at these guys. So, for the Tau Empire, starting with HQs, we've got a Fireblade at the front here. We've got Long Strike in a tank with the Rail Cannon. And then we've got a Cold Star Commander with 4 rocket pods. He'll be the Warlord. He'll have Unity Devastation as his Warlord trait. Sorry, through Unity Devastation. And he'll have Vectored Engine Thrusters for his Relic, because it'll be Tau Sept today. So then for troops, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 5-man Fire Warrior teams. Then for elites, we've got... Oh, up the back here. I had to think about that. 1, 2, 3 Riptides. So 2 of them have ions and the missiles on top, and the other one has the rotor cannon and fusion blasters. All of them have the upgrades that give them +1 AP to their weapons, and then target lock so they can move and shoot heavy weapons without penalty. Then for the fast attack, we've got 1 unit of Pathfinders, 2 units of Pathfinders, all just with marker lights, and then 4 drones. And then for heavy support, we've got Hammerhead with an ion cannon, and then we've got 2 broadsides, both with the smart missile systems on their back, and then they've got the cannons as well. So that brings them in at 2,000 points and 1,500 command points. 1,500 command points, 1,500... 15 command points. I'm having a hard day today. It's really hot in Victoria, so sorry for the word jumbles. Alright, so we've got these 2 armies here. We'll rack them up, get a mission going, and we'll face off against each other. Alright. Alright guys, so the mission we've rolled up is secure and control. So, first things first, I selected a deployment, and I selected, I think, what's called Seek and Destroy, so you get table quarters. So I've selected the one over here on the right hand side, and we're all over here, and Brad's selected the one over here with an assortment of things everywhere. So I've put my objective way back in this back corner over here, and Brad's is in this building under like 5,467 Fire Warriors. Alright, so deployment. For my army, pretty much there is just one big bubble going straight across here of pretty much everything. I pushed everything as far forward as I possibly could so that I can move on him, because everybody knows that Tau don't like pressure. And I've left 1 Poxwalker unit back here to secure this. So the only thing that's not on the table is this guy who's in Deep Strike Reserve. I've put him up on top of here just to put the fear of God into Brad. And then everything else in my army's on the table here. So I'll go across and have a look at Brad's Tau. So first things first, he's put a pesky little unit in here to pester me, looking over this diseased horde. He's done that. He's his infiltrators, and everything else is on the battlefield. So back here around his objective, He's got all his fire warriors, he's got marker light guys, everything. Sort of looking down here, ready to blow this stuff away. Then he's got a front line of Riptides here. He's got some drones here that he's obviously going to bounce some hits off. Then he's played the balancing game up here. He's got Long Strike up here, who's just got a commanding view over the battlefield. Then just down on this next one, he's got another Hammerhead. Then over here, looking to make a bit of a spin around here and hold this alleyway, he's got all these guys. So he's got his commander and 2 broadsides. He's also got another support team down here with marker lights. So that's Brad's setup. Now, he set his army up first, and we'll get +1 to his dice roll to see who goes first. So, we'll roll here, so he's going to get the first turn. I'll re-roll that. What have you got so far? 4. It just keeps landing on things. We'll try this again. A 2. So, your +1 beats mine, but I'm going to try and seize the initiative because that's how I'd be doing. And that's a 3. So it will be Tau first turn, so they'll be shooting into my lines. So we'll see if all these Riptides and all this firepower leaves any of my stuff left on the battlefield. We'll get back to you at the end of this turn and see what happens. Alright guys, end of Tau turn 1, and it's been a bit devastating. He's made some moves, he's shot some shots, and he's blown some things clean off the board, so hopefully I can return the favour because it's sadness. So, movement, coming around here. Tanks stayed up here, tanks stayed up here. These 2 made a move out here. The commander's all the way over here. We've got 2 Riptides have moved out over here and got a clear line of sight down this way. They've got the drones behind them. These guys all stayed in here protecting this for the greater good. And this guy jumped over here. So, damage-wise, he got marker lights on this tank, and he got marker lights on this tank here. So he got first strike and just absolutely annihilated the first Plague Burst Crawler. And then he took 10 wounds off the second Plague Burst Crawler with the combined firepower pretty much of his entire army. Now they're hard tanks to kill, so I don't know how much more of that I can withstand in terms of I've got to get rid of some of his guns to be able to continue on in this fight because it's looking pretty rough. So what we'll do is, I'll have a Death Guard turn. That scores Brad up 1 point. And I'll see if I can't kill some stuff. As I said, devastating first turn, losing that much, but we'll be right. Be back in it in 1 minute. Alright guys, end of Death Guard turn 1. We've made a solid push forward. So, pretty much everything that was here has moved forward up into Brad's grill. So, there was a lot of advancing to get my Death Spitters up. These guys all just walked so that they could shoot, and this followed up at the back, and we're just sort of sold mid-board. So, shooting wise, what did we do? So, pretty much fired half of the army over here, blew away 1 Riptide. So, we got first strike. Used this Death Spitter here to remove the drones from behind this guy, and then the rest of the army, mainly the Myophatic Blight Haulers and some grenades back here, shot into here and took 7 wounds off because he took a wound off to overcharge. So we took 7 wounds off him, so he's down 8 wounds. So we killed a unit of drones, we killed a Riptide, and we took 7 wounds off another Riptide. I'd say that's pretty even considering what you did, wouldn't you say, Brad?
Yeah.
Yep, just blowing away each other's vehicles, so it's getting hot and heavy at the start here. So Brad will have his next turn and see if he can't punish me for punishing his big boy. See what happens. Alright, end of Tau turn 2. It wasn't as devastating as Tau turn 1, but it was still pretty devastating. So movement wise, this Riptide over here jumped back. Some of these Fire Warriors come out the front of this building just to sort of get a bit more because they wanted to rapid fire across into here and successfully took a couple of wounds off, so it was kind of worth it. Long Strike shot over into here and took 3 wounds off this. The red one on there is the marker lights. I'll move them in a second. This Riptide struggled because he was down a tier because he's down 9 wounds, and I put the power on this front guy here, -1 to hit, but Brad really thought that he wanted to get rid of him, and the shots didn't go his way, but that happens. And then these guys here shot over here with supporting fire from the commander as well, and took a wound off the bloat drone. Didn't do much else though. This also supporting fight over there, but didn't do much either. So there was a lot of shooting. Oh, if we come over here, sorry. These guys shot chunks out of these, so there's about 4 of them missing now. So in terms of damage output, there wasn't a great deal, but that's okay because he's definitely got me on the back foot, as in killed enough of my stuff that it's a bit crippling. So we'll see if this push down here can make these disappear in Death Guard turn 2. We'll get back to you. Alright guys, the end of Death Guard turn 2 and we've hit back real hard. So, what's happened? Movement wise, these guys all pushed forward again. We're a pretty slow army when it comes to the troops, but due to having blight launchers I've been running and shooting, so that moves us a little bit quicker. So we're all sort of in this midsection, ready to start pouring through this building over to where the objective is. Tank come over here. One blight spawn over here. One of these is all the way over here. The myphatic, no, not myphatic blight, so fetid bloat drone. These names, mate. Alright, and then over here, there's another bloat drone all the way over here. My Lord of Contagions come down here in his magical garden, and these guys have run over here, not far from going over there as well. So, shooting wise, I removed the big riptide that was here. He only had 5 wounds or so to go, but we removed him with the grenades moving forward. Then I used melters and rockets and shot across into here, and the combination of spittle from here, and removed one of these broadsides. So that was pretty much what happened over on this side of the battlefield.
The Markalites too.
What's that?
The Markalite people.
Oh yeah, the Markalite people, yeah, they got killed too. The Pathfinders, so 5-man unit of Pathfinders. Thanks, Brad. Got annihilated down there. And then over here, we spat on one unit of fire warriors and killed them, and then charged into another and killed one more with my fetid bloat drone. Now, Brad shot 75 rounds of Overwatch into him and didn't do anything, but it was pretty funny. But then this guy tried to charge this riptide and got punched in the face and lost a wound. So, pretty much, Brad's still got tanks for days up here. His commander and broadside over here. He's still got a healthy riptide over this way, and a bucket load of fire warriors, so he can return the favour. We'll get back to Tower turn 3 and see what he does with it all before he gets killed by these bloat drones. Alright guys, end of Tower turn 3. What have they done? First things first, he snuck down this side towards my objective, shot some poxwalkers off here. Over here, what was the stratagem you used here, Brad?
The
orbital ion bombardment.
Yeah.
So he drew a line through here. He got an 8-inch, and he blew away 4 of my Marines out of various units in here because it does mortal wounds. It's kind of like I don't know, death from above, really. All right, coming along here, he used these 2 units here, blew away my fetid bloat drone. These tanks fired down here into this, and I still had the neg 1 on it, so they whiffed pretty badly, even though they had good shooting, but you know, that happens. If we come around here, he's done something which was tremendously brave, but I don't know if it's going to pay off. He jumped in front of this guy so that he was the closest unit to shoot at him, and only took 1 wound off him with a smart missile. I saved everything else. And then how many shots did you shoot into this fetid bloat drone?
60.
60 shots, and how many wounds to take off? 2. 2. It was 3. No, it was 3. Yeah, you're right. So 60 fire warriors took off 3 rounds off this. So that wasn't so good. Anything else I've missed, Brad? Not yet?
No.
Alright, so he's still got his commander. He's still got this. Still got battle tanks everywhere. Still got all these fire warriors, and he's still got a riptide. So we'll go and have Death Guard turn 3 and see what we can do. Alright guys, end of Death Guard turn 3, and we've made a mess of things here. So first things first, between this and a couple of grenades and stuff from over here, we finished off the other broadside. Then this moved over here, and between this tank and these 3, we removed one of the hammerheads that was up here. These guys in here pretty much shot across the battlefield. So if we come around this side, As you'll see now, there's about 15 fire warriors left, so we've killed about 15 of them through bolt fire, spitting fire from this thing, shooting everywhere. Combat wise, as you've seen before, he jumped in front of me before and tried to shoot me, so I ran into him and did 6 wounds on him with my weapon. So he's down 9 wounds, but as he has the fly keyword, he can still jump out and hurt me. And he's still got this tank up here and this over here. Now we're slowly coming over here to try and take his objective, but as you can see over here, he's sneakily trying to come across to take my objective. So we'll go into Town turn 4. That's a mouthful. And we'll see if Brad can't retaliate a bit and make me wish I never came to this planet and bring all my plague with me. Alright, end of tower turn 4. Let's see what Brad's done. So, this stayed up here. And what did this shoot into, Brad? The drone over here. And the combination of that, all of these, took it down to its last wound. So this thing's sitting there on 1 wound left. He didn't shoot anything at this because this still had the neg 1 hit on it. Coming across here, he jumped out of combat with this, shot into this, and did nothing again, which was quite funny on my behalf because this thing's obviously hitting on 5s now. He's kind of a bit neutered. Nothing else happened here. He's still holding the objectives. And round here, Brad has gotten sneaky. So he's ran these guys over here, harbouring in here, and he's flown his cold star across here and shot into them. So there's only 4 of them in there. They are fearless, but he's putting the pressure on me down now in my back lines using his cold star and his stealth suits. So now I've got to use something to go back there, try and clean them up and reclaim my objective. Alright, so what we'll do is I'll go into Death Guard turn 4, see if we can't take his objective, reclaim my objective, and win the game. Alright boys, we'll get back to you. Alright guys, end of Death Guard turn 4, and let's have a look at what's happened. So first things first, these guys backed away from here, heading back towards my objective. They cut off his commander here and shot him full of melter and missiles and killed the warlord. So I got warlord for that, and we're going to keep going over here because these guys are over here. The rest of this army here all pushed through here. I'll come around this other side. So they pushed through, and between like bolter fire, plasma fire, all their fire, they pretty much removed all of the fire warriors that were in here. Well, they didn't pretty much do it. They did it also with the combined spit of here. Then he charged in and killed the fire blade. And then zombies charged up in here into the rafters and started nomming on these guys and killed one of them. And then this guy ran over here and took another couple of wounds off this guy, so he's only got 2 left. So, at this point, Brad is going to need to do something drastic to take my objective and somehow hold this one here. So we'll let him have his turn 5 and see if he can at least get some personal victory back. How do you think it's all going, Brad?
Terrible. You've been rolling terrible against that tank.
Yeah, well, they're not easy to kill, mate. We killed 2 of them and you killed some bloat drones and some other things, so we'll see what happens. He's still got, long strike lost 5 wounds as well to this thing here. So he's not down a bracket yet, so he's still in the game, so we'll see what he can do. Alright, we'll get back to you at the end of tower turn 5. Alright, end of tower turn 5. He's fought back valiantly. This tank shut down into here. It's missing 9 wounds now, so Long Strike's pulled his finger out and started blowing holes in things. Didn't kill it, but done some serious damage. In here, these poor guys are losing the fight to the Poxwalkers. The Poxwalkers' numbers going up. The Pathfinder's numbers going down. It's bad. Coming across over here, that just looks bad. It's all pouring out of the building. Coming over here, he jumped out of here and he opted not to shoot here and instead shot over here and took 3 wounds off one of these. Just try and put the pressure on and lower my ability to defend my objective over here. And the reason he's done that is because he's playing shenanigans with me. He's coming here, so I've got 2 Poxwalkers in there. He's shot him, he's charged him, and then we had a bit of a combat. We both whiffed in combat, both terrible, but he did kill a few there. So what we'll do now is, because he's on my objective, I'm on his objective. I'll have my turn 5 and see if we can't finish this bad boy off and kill some shit. And hopefully these things will do what they do best and disappear. Alright guys, at the end of Death Card turn 5, the game has come to a solid end with the tabling. So, first things first for this objective. These guys moved over here. I moved these guys out of combat, and between all the firepower of these, I removed the 3 guys. So they did what I asked them to. They disappeared. They fucked off back to wherever it is they come from. We're all happier for it. Alright, so then if we come around here, this guy chased down the Riptide and finished him off. And then over here, on his objective, we've just surrounded it with Papa Nurgle's love. It was this guy that ran up here, finished off Longstrike, and that's all she wrote. So, at the end of this battle, it's a pretty solid Death Guard win. They're disgustingly resilient, and toughness just really pumps them up. And I think with the Tau, once their suits start getting a bit lower and stuff like that and hitting on 5s, it really, really hurts them in trying to remove this sort of stuff. So, going to man of the match, what have you chosen, Brad?
The Riptide here.
The Riptide, and I'm going to choose these 3. Without them 3, I don't think I could have actually won the game because I wouldn't have had anything to get back across this side of the table to reclaim this. Actually, I probably still would have won the game to have Warlord, but it just wouldn't have been... They were also the ones that got Warlord, weren't they? There you go. Without the Myphetic Blight Haulers, they got me Warlord. They got me this. So this single-handedly stopped it from being a draw and helped nuke things consistently throughout the game. You got anything you want to add, Brad?
I'd like to hit a little bit more because that second round, I completely with the second round.
Yeah, once the suits start taking a few hits, they go down in accuracy. Same for this unit here. Once we lose one, they start hitting on 4s. It's a similar sort of thing. Alright, if you like this, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. If you just like it, just want to bloody watch more, then just bloody watch more. Alright guys, I'll catch up with yous.